That's happening today? I knew it was coming up soon, but I didn't know it was today. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I guess I literally looked at that message on the board yesterday, and I mean, I guess I literally looked at that, and I didn't look at the date, apparently. That's fine. Yeah, I guess it's the 20th or the 21st. So here we are. He's got a legitimate gun. This is, I think, the same event we saw last time. Let's see what Tortimer says. So once again, it looks like he just doesn't give you duplicate items for anything. Huh. Don't know how to feel about that. It's interesting, to say the least. Anyway, it's Friday. We've not sold our turnips yet, so I mean, they gotta go today or tomorrow, regardless of what's going on. I'm not feeling good, to be honest, about today. I do not have a good feeling about this. That's just based on what I've seen from doing turnips for over a year now. I don't got good vibes. Don't got a warm, fuzzy feeling. I really don't know. Wendell is here, but we're going to ignore him today. Because if we dealt with him now, then the next visitor would be here on Sunday. And I don't want to mess up the turnip patterns. So we're not going to do that. And we're just going to ignore Wendell. And then tomorrow, the next visitor will be decided. And of course, that'll then be for Monday. Alright, I gotta just rip the band-aid off here. Whoa, it's real! It's real! It's real! It's real! It's real! Okay. Dare I say it? We are so back. We are so back right now. Wow, okay. We're so back. We are so back. We are so back right now. Let's go. Okay. Calm down. Calm down, man. Alright, I got like close to an hour. We spent 8.2 mil. We got huge gains of like 57 mil on the horizon. We will have over 900 mil in the bank account by the time we finish selling all this. So that's huge. Anyway, 952 times 100. That's a single thing. Times 5 is okay. Times 6. Okay. So we can't sell 6 at a time. That'd be 547. Yeah, anyway. What am I doing? Okay, well, I got my work cut out for me, clearly. Okay, I was really worried. Now again, I've only seen one Friday spike so far. Now, I haven't like seen. There's like January 27th, the week of January 27th, 2025. We don't know what happened. That could have been a Friday spike. Same with the week of February 24th. That could have been a spike. That one, no. That one, no. This one, maybe. Am I looking at this right? I feel like I'm looking at it wrong. So, like, that gets 1, 2, 3? Yeah, okay. It is turn-up day. We actually we got a spike. I was not expecting this. As you probably know, Fridays have not been a good spike day for me. And I was just reviewing and making sure that I counted right the other day. But I've only seen one Friday spike before today. This is the second Friday spike I've seen. Earlier in the week I looked, and it's like I've seen 7 spikes on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday. So like those days all very even at this point. And then I've seen 11 on Mondays. So Mondays have always been like the big day. And I guess Wednesday was also the big day, but then as time went on, it's evened out. And now I guess like Tuesday and Thursday are pretty equal with Wednesday. But Friday was none until like November. So like it took almost a full year of doing turnips to see a Friday spike. Now obviously the weird part here is that when you look at like a pattern for turnips, it's like the rules are, I mean, it's on the wiki, but to explain it briefly, there's a chance if it's in the random pattern, which is like both spike or no spike, right? It has like a chance to increase, and it increases by like 5%, and then every time it goes up or something, that percent goes up by 1. So it's like, I think it's something like that. I don't know. Basically, it goes up by 5% every day, and then if it drops by 30%. But it needs to like go to a certain, yeah, something like that. Whatever. But then when you have a spike, it like overrides whatever price you would have had. Like if I look at like the first spike where I have like the full week there, it's like, here's one, it's like I bought at 127 bells. It went up to 133 on Monday, 141 on Tuesday, 1,016 on the Wednesday, and then it went to 163 on Thursday. Did I say Thursday or Wednesday? Sorry. I feel like I said things wrong. Okay, anyway, sorry. So I bought it 127. Monday it's 133. Tuesday it's 141. Wednesday it spikes and it hits 1,016. Thursday goes to 163, and then Friday it goes to 178. So you can see, like, sure, it goes up 6 bells on the Monday, 8 bells on the Tuesday, and then if you increase that to like 10 bells instead, then it would be 151. And then if you increase that to like 12 bells, it would go to 163, and then the next day it would go to like 178, which is like 50 more. And I'm just saying numbers, and I know this is like hard to follow, but basically, like, I don't think there's a way to tell if a spike occurs if the store is closed based on the pattern in this game. Because from what I see when I look at these numbers, it says, hey, this is the price that it would be normally, but then we're actually going to just override it with the spike price. And then, so that way it still can calculate what it should be based off of that price for the following day. Like, I think there's something like that in the back end. But, yeah, like, because of that, I don't think you can tell. So anyway, all this to say that, like, there's been a total of 3 weeks where the store has been inaccessible on a Friday. I have not seen the price, and I did not see a spike or decrease. Like, it was not a decreasing pattern, and I could not see a spike at any other point during the week. So, it's possible that I've had 5 Friday spikes in my town. I think it's unlikely. I think it's very unlikely that all 3 of those weeks happen to be spikes, but anything's possible. But yeah, basically, we've seen 2 spikes on Friday, and it's possible that there was, like, maybe 3 more. But this is very exciting. I'm very happy about this. I was really starting to worry. I really didn't want to have to sell again. I mean, like, I don't know. Like I said yesterday, this year's been weird. Because, like, before today, there was 10 weeks, and it was, 6 bad weeks to 4 good weeks, which is not on odds. And obviously, like, if you do it enough, like, yeah, maybe it's not gonna look right, but if you do it more, then it would be balanced out. But just looking at the 10 weeks of this year that have happened already is not balanced, and is very strange, you know? But now it's, like 6 to 5, which is slightly better, but the point that's very important here is that this is a very big spike. This is actually our third? Is this our third best or second best? So I spent... There's an 8.25, an 8.38, and then this is an 8.21. So this is our third best spike. However, actually, I lost money last week. And in one of these weeks, I had lost money as well. Actually, no, I think the 8.25 week, I had lost money 2 weeks prior. The 8.3 week, I had a spike the week before. So it was significant in that, like, yes, I made money because I made, like, more money than it looked like I made more money than I did the other time, because the other time I was recovering lost money. This time I'm recovering, but not as much. So this week would probably be our second best week for profit, but our third best when it comes to, like, actual money spent. Anyway. So if I do some math here, and I say that I need 121 mil, and I divide that by 3, 121 mil divided by 3 is 40 mil, right? So that would say, like, if I was to do this in 3 more weeks, I would need to make 40 mil. Here we're making 57 mil. So if we say, like, 121 minus 57 mil, then we're left with 64 mil. 64 mil divided by 2 is 32. And if we divide that by 7, then we would have to spend roughly 4.5 mil over the course of 2 weeks in order to finish. Now, obviously, there's a slight problem here. With that problem being that I just don't think that I could do this in 1 more week. I could. But I just think it's, like, not gonna happen. Like, yeah, I know this whole time I've been like, ooh, I know I'm feeling close, but it doesn't feel that close. We, yes, it's like the royal we, but it's also like we're a team, okay? You put in the hours watching, so you are contributing. This is our win. I don't know. I think I do say we as a habit when I'm speaking on stream, but I think it's fine. It's fun. But yeah, so what I was saying, I think I would have to, like, what I said before, if I wanted to do this in 2 weeks, I would have to spend more than I'd ever spent 2 weeks in a row. And then also, like, they would also both have to have, like, really high prices, and I would need more time. Because, like, I've done big numbers, right? That I did 127 bells per turnip for 8.3 mil, almost 8.4. Like, price can't get much better than that, and I would just need more time. So I could do that, right? But, like, I'd have to wake up earlier, which is already, like, ugh, But then, not only would I have to wake up earlier, I would need to also just luck out and have a good price. So, with this week, it's pretty good. Like, because before, I think it was like, let me get the calculator out again, jeez. If I had 121 mil and I divided that by 3, and then then do I keep multiplying it by... I keep multiplying it by 3. Okay, divided by 3. That says 40 mil, and then we divide that by 7, and that says 5.7 mil. So if I wanted to, like, average this out across three weeks, which is kind of what I was expecting, then I would need 5.7 mil every week. But because I did 8.2 rather than that, it's now taken it down so that if I was to average this out over the next 2 weeks, I would only need to spend 4.5 mil. 4.5 mil each week? That's not a lot. I'm just gonna say that. At this point, that's like pretty easy to do. I can do that like basically regardless of the price. That's the other thing. So, where did that leave us? I'm gonna, we're gonna see what happens on Sunday, obviously. If I have a really good price, I could probably do... Well, here's the thing. If I have a really good price, I don't see a reason for me not to go for it, right? Like, if I've been going crazy and just spending a lot of time on turnips lately as is, why would I stop at this point? So, yeah, if it's like I need 4.5 mil each week, if I did 6 mil, for example, then that would say that I'm spending 1.4 mil more than I would need to. So then that would mean the last week I would only need to spend 3 mil, which would be a lot easier to do. It would take like a fraction of the time, right? But I don't think it's realistic. I could try it. It would just be very rough, like timing-wise, depending on what day the actual spike were to occur, and then just like, I don't think that's how it's gonna play out. Where it's like, yeah, I get one more spike and we're done. No, I still think it's 2. But I feel like if we get a good price and we get a spike for the next one, then we could have a pretty chill last week where I don't have to worry as much. Well, not last week, but like final week. I mean, 2 is fine. At this point, 2 is fine, you know? Because, like, it was just, like, I don't know. I guess, like, I gotta think. Okay, just so I know the numbers I'm working with. If I put like 64 mil in and I divide that by 7, that's 9.1 mil. Yeah, that's like kind of considerable, honestly. You know? I guess I could start clearing this acre out, because this acre does have a lot of money. Alright, I can start clearing out the space here. That's probably a good idea. Yeah, okay, so if I wanted to do everything in 1 week, I'd spend like 9.1 mil. But like, not even, I'd need to spend more on top of that, because I do need extra money. Again, I do want to pay off the debt with my other characters so that everybody has a statue in town, and then I do want to just have like a stockpile of money out by the store that I can just pull from as I need. But realistically, I really don't need that much money at this point in the game. The only things I really need to use money for would be like buying red out. And then like sale day this year, but like sale day wouldn't be that much. So like, yeah, I don't need that much money at this stage. But yeah, because like, I think, how much is the debt? How much is the last debt? Maybe I try to do too many things at once. Me when I opened my catalog by accident. I did not mean to do that. Interesting. Okay, I'm looking at my debt now. Hold on. I'm just searching debt on the wiki. That should, yep. Okay, so everyone's house is fully built. They just need to pay off the last debt. The last debt is 800k. So, 800k times 3. That's 8 times 3. That's 24. So 2.4 mil. So yeah, I need like an extra 2.4 mil. And then I'd want probably like an extra like mil, maybe extra 2 mil on top of that. So it's like I need to make like 4 extra mil, which is like another 500k. So if I was to do that with... I just don't think it would work on that. If I tried to go for 9.6, it's like, actually go for like 9.5, 9.6. Or sorry, the 9.1. If I was to try to like get everything else I need in a single week, like throwing another 500, 600k on top, like 500k on top of that, was just too much. I don't think it's worth it. So yeah, we're probably looking at 2 more weeks, which is completely fine. I'm okay with that. But here's the weird thing, right? Like, oh, I need 9 point whatever mil. So like, if I had a really good, like, here's the thing: if I have a really good price this weekend, and like things are going smoothly, do I just buy as much as I can, or do I stop myself? You know, like if I need to spend, like at this point, I think it's easier to talk about like how much I need to spend in order to like get the profit from a spike to be done. So it's like if I need to spend a total of 9.1 mil, and I'm like, you know, at like 7.5 mil. Is that like too much? Like at some point should I just stop? You know? Like if I spend like 6.5 or 7 mil this weekend, I'm like, yeah, that's good enough. I don't need to spend more. Or do I just keep going, you know? Like, because then if I do hit 8 mil and then I do another 8 mil week, then it's like the last week's like, oh, you gotta spend like 1.5 mil. Like, is it even worth showing up for that? It'd be such a quick stream. And then it's like, I'm spending all this extra time in a single thing and like taxing myself more. And for what? To then show up for like this week? This week, you know? So it's like, I think like, I go for something like 6 mil. 6.5. But like, this is why it's like, I'm not sure. Because like, I guess it's kind of dependent on the price this week. Like, if I have a bad price this week, then it's like, alright, we'll do what we can. And if it's really bad... If it's really bad, then maybe I can only spend, like, 5 mil this week, right? And that would still be, like, 500k more than I would need to spend if I was to average it out across 2 weeks. And if I only spent 5 mil, then I would need to spend 4 mil on the last week. So I guess, like, even if I had bad prices for the next 2 weeks, it would still be fine, I think. But then on the flip side, if I have a good price this weekend, I think I should go over to at least like 6 or 5, because then it would lessen what I would need to do last week. And then if the last week has a bad price, it's going to be a lot easier to get that price. To hit the number I need with that price. I don't know. I guess that's kind of where I'm at. So if I have a bad price, I'll just full send it as I've been doing, and we'll hopefully walk away with like 5 mil purchased. But if we have a better price, I'll go for like 6 mil, 6.5, maybe 7 tops. And then it'll just be easier to go off the last week. And of course, you know, things can happen. We could like lose again. I mean, I'd love to see a back-to-back spike at this point, but I don't want to be greedy. So yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see how it plays out. Let's grab this. I'm trying to like work on some of the money. Like, I know normally I like to deal with like dropping the money so I can get everything squared away first, so then later it's just easy to just, you know, sell stuff and drop it off at the post office. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, I'm pretty happy with this. So obviously I got like half an hour or so left in this stream, and then I'll come back late afternoon and continue. I'm hoping, although I don't know, Actually, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure how I want this to play out. Obviously, I didn't, like... The last weekend was very rough in, like, how it worked out, because Joan just, like, was not cooperating. She kept showing up in, like, she did some repeat acres, she went to a lot of really bad ones, and it wasn't until the very end that I actually got her in a really good one, and of course the timing of that worked out very well in my favor, so I was actually able to hit a good number, but up until the, like, last, you know, last moment where it's like, oh, she actually showed up somewhere where I want her, it was not looking great. And so I spent like 3 hours and 20 minutes on that stream, which was quite the time. And in comparison, to buy that same number of inventories, I had previously spent like 20 minutes less. So this will probably still take like 3 hours to sell, although I guess a lot of the terms are kind of close to the store as is. You know, we did buy in B4 and then a lot of the other ones there. So I'd say half the turnips are already like where we want them, more or less. So we're gonna see. That is, so we're gonna drop. I don't know how I'm doing this. This is funky. This is not how I wanted that to drop. Actually, no, we can keep that. Alright, so that's 6, that's 14, 15, that's 17. I guess, yeah, the other thing is that on the last week, for me to actually, like, finish this up, I need to move all of the money into the bank, you know? And I have 22 mil, basically, dropped outside. So in addition to selling everything and bringing that all to the bank, everything outside would need to go as well. Which would take a little bit of time, honestly. I could probably calculate that very easily. Am I going to? I don't know. Probably I don't want to. I don't want to do that right now. I mean, if you can hold 450k in an inventory, that tells you that it's gonna be, and if that means it's at least 2 trips per mil. Right? So then if I need 22 mil, then that's like still like, that's gonna be at least 50 trips to the store. That's where I'm going with that. So that would take a decent amount of time. You know, it's kind of hard to avoid that. It's gonna take time. How did I do this? Like that goes like there, and then does this go here? I guess this maybe goes just here, and then that's like a solid 30. Well, not 30, but 30 for the row. Me when I just say things in my head and it makes sense to me, but like anyone watching is like confused. Anyway. So yeah, I got like half an hour left, and then I'll come back later, and I think I'll need 2 hours. I'm just trying to figure out how that's gonna work. Cause like, I'm gonna be hungry. Gotta think about dinner. I could do an early dinner, but then that would be like a little bit too early. So, I'm gonna have to think about that. Okay, so again, that's 7. That's 14. And then if we do this, we're left with 21. And then we can drop 5. And that puts us at 26. And then if we do this, then wow, we have 24. Okay, great. So again, that's 21. That's 26. That's 30. So this acre's good. We fixed that one up. This acre's good. That one's got all the money it needs. So now I have all this extra cash, and I don't want to deal with it right now. But we're gonna just run it down somewhere else and make the most of this. This acre's untouched, so that's fine. This one's also untouched, so that's fine. I guess a lot of the money came from, like, random acres, such as this one, you know? So if we just go ahead and drop some money there, you know, why not? And then we can grab an inventory from here. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna just see how the price works out this weekend, and obviously, like, whether we get a spike next week, that's another question. But if the price is good, I'll go for it so we can, you know, overcompensate in the event that the following week or spike doesn't do well. And then it'll be easier, right? Because if I'm only dealing with like 3 mil, it'll be a lot quicker. I can sell a lot quicker, and then I can just focus on the trips to get all the money to the post office, because that will take time. And if we do that all in like one stream one day, then that would like make for a bigger moment maybe. So yeah, that's the plan with that. I've not really streamed much this week because like there's been nothing going on in my town. Like legit nothing happening. You were so curious if there was anybody streaming GameCube Animal Crossing. You're so pleased somebody is. Well, I'm happy you found the stream. How close am I to 100%ing it? I'll let me wait 10 seconds. More than that. I was gonna say like the amount of 100 mil that I have is the relative to the percentage I'm done, but no, that's not quite it. I'd say I'm pretty close. I'm somewhere. I'd say like 80. I was gonna make a joke, but like 86% is too low. Like if we're looking at like completion according to my spreadsheet of all the items, it says 97%, but obviously it's not just that. So considering catalog above 90, when it comes to like money, 86 is what I have in the bank. However, based on what I'm going to sell, like I started, hold on, sorry, let me grab this real quick. My bank account started at 857 today. I stand to make 57 mil, so we're going to be over 900 mil. And then in addition to that, I do have 22 mil outside that I use for buying the turnips. So the money in my bank account is not super representative of all the money I have. But yeah, basically you can just add, I guess, like almost 80 mil to what I have. Like 80 mils is at 857. I guess I had an easier way to say this, and I apologize. But, like, starting today, I needed 121 mil. And I'm getting 57 mil today. So, I'm claiming, like, two more spikes, and I should be done with the post office grind. Or post office model grind, but I guess both statements make sense. And then, yeah, there's not, like, too much else after that. I need, like, 2 things from Gracie. There's 4 shirts from Nooks that are specific to certain seasons. There's 9 gyroids. 1 more Gulliver item. The market model, because I foolishly missed that on sale day because I got caught up with everything else. That was a big mistake. Not letting that one go. That was a big mistake on my part. And then, like, there's all the flower models and train station models. But I do have those with my other characters in my other towns. I just don't have them here yet. I'm waiting to, like, move all that at the end. Also, there's, like, 1 more jingle item. The jingle clock, I think. And I did get that in another town, but I just haven't got it in this town. So that'll be something I get later, probably. But yeah, yeah, pretty close. Okay, how long have I been doing the GameCube one? I guess I should have mentioned that. I should have updated that and, like, said it, but I'll probably just do it when I'm done, or when I'm close to being done. But I started this town in December of 2024, December 10th to be more specific. So, like, a year and a little bit. specifically to turnips. I started doing turnips in January of 2025, so we've been doing that for like a bit over a year. The first like 6 months of my turnips were pretty hit or miss. Honestly, not that great. Like actually though, like the numbers were not good. It was not very smooth. And then the last 6 months of last year were a much better. Oh, I haven't. Yeah, I guess I should update that to mention 3.0. I should probably. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm putting that on my to-do list. I'll do that after the stream, hopefully, if I remember. But yeah, it's been a bit over a year. But yeah, like to put it into perspective, my bank account had 100 mil in June, I think. I do have like bank balances for every date that I actually put money in. So yes, as of June 23rd, I had 102 mil. And then if you're to look at like December 30th, I had 650 mil. So it's just, I got a lot better at buying turnips. I got a lot better like at having money out with strategies. Started waking up a little bit earlier to give myself more time. Except that was like, that kind of happened like halfway, but then it happened again recently. What? Codigo? Is that code in another language? Is that a thing? I'm not sure. It sounds like it, but I don't want to assume. Okay, this acre, we have all the money we need here now, so that's good. I guess I'll go over here and start dropping more money here again. I always forget how I orient the money here. I feel like it's not laid out properly because I can't see that last bag, but I think it's fine. So yeah, that's how long I've been playing this one. New Horizons, yeah, that took like 4 years. Seems to mean Cove, I don't know what the context is. Maybe they're confused and they think this is like New Horizons. This is this is a solely offline game. The internet did exist when it came out, but not the way it did. Or sorry, not the way it does now. If we're talking like playtime wise, which I guess is maybe an interesting number, New Horizons was like 1120 hours. That's at least on my main character. I did use the other characters, so that's not tracked as much. Whereas this is like I'm at like 300 hours maybe. I could check. So currently all the files are like on my computer, all the recordings rather. So if I look at like the one folder that has most of them on OneDrive of mine, that is 355 hours. But then I also have this folder, which is 9 hours. And then, yeah, so like, let's say I probably at about like 370 hours in this game. So compared to New Horizons, it's a lot smaller of a number, but it's a lot different. You know, New Horizons, it's like you can kind of chill. I don't know. You're really able to just like work at your own pace more. Obviously, here it's like I'd say half of that playtime is strictly turnips. And yeah, that takes a long time. Like turnips are just rough, you know. You can't really work with them, right? Like you have to work around them, and it's quite the challenge sometimes, to be honest. Because you know, life, real world commitments schedules, and then the way that the turnips work here, like, yes, it's really good in the sense that there's only one price per day, but because of like sales and the store's short hours, you don't have as much wiggle room. But obviously, yeah, I don't know, there's so many like weird different things that it's like hard to compare to the other games, because in New Horizons you don't really have a strong need for money. You know, like I had like 40 mil maybe in New Horizons, and I've like slowly depleted it because I just stopped caring and making the money back. You don't need it so much. But like the other games do need money. But like, yeah, selling turnips in New Horizons, selling turnips here, completely different. It's like, oh, you have an inventory with like 40 slots. You can just say, yeah, buy all that. Here you have to spend like 3 minutes buying a single inventory. And then you have your space requirements. The money bags here only go up to 30k. So even just like having the money out in an acre and moving money is just so much work. Here, as you can see, it's not super obvious unless you're really paying attention, maybe. But I'm only selling 5 bundles of turnips at a time because like that's all I can hold, you know? In the other games, you could hold so much more because every bag would be 999k. So yeah, it's like your ability to move money and deal with turnips. I don't know. It's a weird thing because I haven't like done the other turnip grinds. I can't fully comment on how it's easier and how it differs. I just have an understanding of this one and understanding of how the other ones work. But like here, I've actually done it. But yeah, I am claiming that I 100% of New Horizons, meaning that I completed the catalog. So I don't have all the photos, but they're not in the catalog, so they don't count. That's the way I see it. But like, yeah, that is a thing, because I know, like, I don't know, any game with like the photos, it becomes a nightmare to actually complete. Like there's no way you can do that. Also, I'm very annoyed about New Horizons and its completion, because it just doesn't want you to complete the game, honestly. Like if you look here at the catalog in this game, and I guess in a lot of the other ones, you can see that there's a number down in there at the bottom, like, right? This is, I have 580 of the furniture right now. Then, oh, the wallpaper, you can see there's a star there. That means I have all the wallpaper. That means I have all the floors. Still need the shirts. Still need a couple of those. Still, you know, all the paper. Still need gyroids. All the fossils. All the music. So, like, that's... It makes it easy here. But in New Horizons, you don't get anything to do that. You wanted to try to get the most you could, but you stopped trying after getting to know about the posters and the amiibos. Yeah, that's fair. Although, I did buy a bunch of the amiibo cards, and on my channel I do have, like, openings. So, like, if that's something you want to watch, that is there. But where I'm going with that is that I did get, like, a lot of amiibo cards, and I did actually spend, like, 2 hours maybe one day scanning them all. So I have most of the posters in New Horizons, actually. But was it necessary? No, but I just did it because I was like, well, I might as well. This is great content, right? No, I was losing it. Just took a very long time. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird to compare because, yeah, like New Horizons, it's like I spent, like, the first bit, I wasn't, like, actively trying to complete the game, and then, like, maybe 3 or 4 months in, I was like, actually, wait, maybe I should, like, go for this. And then, like, yeah, as time went on, like, I started, like, doing the Nook Mile challenges, getting everything done, and I was, like, feeling, like, pretty good about where I was going and how much I had done, and then they're like, boom, 2.0 update. That changed everything. I had so much more to do after that. So then, you know, I had to work on the DLC, had to do all that new stuff, blah, 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 blah. And, like, yeah, I got most of the stuff done, and then there's, like, a couple, like, grinds that really took a long time. Like, trying to get all the recipes was terrible. I had 8 different characters, and I would load every character and just grab the bottle with all of them. And I did that for ages, until I finally was free of that. So, like... But that one's, like, easy. It's like, oh, okay, I'll just spend an hour when I can. every day. I don't know. It's crazy to say like what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Spending 3 hours on a Sunday morning all at once immediately after I wake up is kind of rough. But just, you know, doing an hour of work every week, so like 7 hours of work, but spread out every day, completely different. So yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, New Horizons took way longer. And like from this one, like once I'm done turnips, we're kind of just coasting. And yes, also Boom 3.0, but thankfully 3.0 was pretty quick. It was pretty easy, and like basically all the new stuff was either associated with amiibo cards or the hotel. Really, the problem was just ordering everything from the hotel because it took so long to get everything. But yeah, the other thing here is like after you do like your first like year of playing, you'll have seen all the events. And like, to be honest, most of the events don't take that long anyway. Like, honestly, most of the events it's like, hey, show up and you go talk to Tortimer at the wishing well, and then he gives you an item. Like that's literally the extent of most of the events. It's more just like the work of being like, I can't forget this day. I forgot one day, and then, you know, actually showing up during the right hours, because usually it's like 10 to 6, but sometimes it's 9 to 5 usually, but some days it's like 10 to 6. It's weird. So you gotta work around that. But then like for the actual events, it's like, yeah, you have Halloween, which takes some time because you buy candy throughout the month. And then, yeah, I think it took me at least 2 hours to do the Halloween event. And then on sale day, you can just keep buying from Red. So I bought from Red for 3 hours to get the remainder of his items. You know, like, so that was the thing. And there's also like Turkey Day. But really here it's like the Harvest Festival. It was later renamed Turkey Day. So Harvest Festival super quick. That took like half an hour because there's actually a guarantee. Nothing in this game guarantees that you get new items except the Harvest Festival for some odd reason. I really don't know why. Like legit Halloween, you get tons of dupes. Toy Day, you'll get tons of dupes. But then Turkey Day, which is arguably the easiest of all of them, has duplicate item protection, which is strange. Because, yeah, you know, Toy Day, it's like you can only do it 10 times per town per year. Like, even across characters, if one character goes and gets 10 items from Jingle, no one else can get them, right? With Halloween, you're limited to how much candy you can buy. And if you were to buy all the candy every day, you get like 75 pieces of candy or something. So, like, there's a hard limit there. But then with Turkey Day, you just show up, grab the utensils, and then find Franklin and be like, here you go. And then he just gives you the whole set, one by one. It takes no time at all. It was crazy. I was worried about it, and then it's like there was nothing to worry about. It's so, like, there's so many weird little, like, mechanics with Animal Crossing, and not everything's documented very clearly always, and it's, like, hard to know everything. So that's the other part. You're, like, trying to plan and, like, make sure you have enough time on these days to get everything done and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, like, once you get through the first year of this, things get really, really easy, especially because, like, now, like, I don't need anything from Sahara, you know, I don't need anything from Wendell, I don't need anything from Red, but I still kind of deal with them sometimes, just to get them out of my town quicker. Because that's another weird mechanic. In this game, it's like, the visitors show up, and it's somewhat related to your town ranking. If you have, like, a highly ranked town, if it's like rank 5 or rank 6, whatever, what are like the top 2 like levels essentially, then the visitors show up every 2 days. But if you have a lower ranked town, then they only show up like 2 to 3 days or 3 days. But like the way that it happens is very weird, because like in New Horizons, for example, the days reset at 5 a.m. Very strict on that. Here it's like they reset at midnight, but also not. There's like multiple resets, I think. I don't know. There's something strange to it. I don't exactly know fully how it works in that sense. But if you recall correctly, New Leaf started at 6 a.m. Yeah, that it might just change a lot throughout every game. Because New Horizons for sure 5 a.m. and New Leaf might be 6, and then the other ones could be other times. But it's like, for example, oh, you played Wii and DS, but New Leaf, oh boy. Yeah, New Leaf is before streaming New Horizons and this one. I would say New Leaf was the one I probably played the most, or it would be Wild World. I'm not sure. I don't have the DS did not track playtime, so I can't say. But yeah. Yeah, the Wii one is the one I actually played the least. Just because, like, I don't know. I mean, I do know why, but it's like that one I just you'd never buy everything. Yeah, that's fair. Buying everything. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, because like when I played like as a kid growing up, it's like, yeah, I'd buy like some things. I wouldn't just buy everything. Like, I don't know. I was thinking like maybe I would have just like bought things and be like, yeah, let me just fill up my catalog, but with no intention of like getting everything. But I don't think that happened. And yeah, I loved catching bugs and fish, but then I didn't even like get them all until like New Leaf. I think New Leaf was the first game where I actually caught all of them and got the net and rod. Anyway, yeah, so like in this game, to give an example, right now Wendell is here. So Wendell's here, he's an all-day visitor. So if Wendell, you can only deal with Wendell with 3 characters. You can have 4 characters in a town, but like Gracie, him and Gracie, only 3 characters can interact with them. I don't know why that's a rule, but it's a thing. And as soon as you interact with them, with the last character, and you leave that acre, they immediately leave your town. And then because they immediately leave your town, the game decides your next visitor. So it's like if Wendell shows up on a Friday and you deal with him with 3 characters, he leaves immediately. The game says, all right, your next visitor's going to be on Sunday and it's going to be so-and-so. But then if you wait until the next day, then on Saturday, you know, he'll have left, but it won't like pick a new visitor until when you load on Saturday. And then it'll be like, okay, it's going to be 2 days from now, so it's on Monday. So it's like, sometimes you deal, like if you want to get visitors as quickly and as often as possible, you have to keep dealing with these special visitors, regardless of whether you need items from them or not. But then there's some that you can't deal with. Like Sahara just shows up all day and won't leave. Katrina shows up at 9 p.m. and then leaves at 9 p.m. the next day and won't leave. And yes, if you load the game after 9 p.m. on that night, it'll then decide the next visitor. But if you don't do that, then the next visitor is decided on Friday. And so like that's like a whole like meta game in itself, where you're like trying to keep the schedule going as quickly as possible so that you can ensure that you get the people you need. But yeah, anyway, right now it's like I need just Gracie, right? I need 2 shirts from Gracie, but there's 5 other like visitors that there can be. You have Red, Sahara, Wendell, Gracie. Wait, am I doing Katrina, Red, Sahara, Wendell, Gracie, and then the sale. Yes, the 1 hour sales that are like I think exclusive to this game count as events or visitors, which is very annoying because they are not very helpful most of the time. But yeah, so like once I'm done turnips, and again, turnips take up like the most amount of my playtime right now, because like for example, I spent 3 hours and 20 minutes really on Sunday buying turnips for this week, and I'm going to spend at least 3 hours selling the turnips today across this stream and then another stream later on in the afternoon. This stream I do have to like wrap up pretty soon because I don't have time, but yeah, that's like at least 6 hours just related to turnips. But then every other stream this week has been like 5 minutes long tops. Like Monday I showed up and it was 15 minutes because I moved some turnips closer to the store and I had to deal with Gulliver. But then every other day this week, nothing has happened. And like one day I bought out Red so he'd leave. Like, so yeah, like I'd say like more than half of the playtime and like required to complete this game is going to be like turnips. I think half is like underselling it. Like I'd say like I don't know. Like I want to, once I'm like done with it, like maybe like done the turnips at least, maybe I'll like go through and get some numbers. I think it would be good to have numbers to like say like how much time roughly it took to do all that, and then you can compare that to the rest of my time. But I'd say like, yeah, a lot of the time, probably half the time is going to be strictly just turnips and getting the post office model. Because for some reason they're like, yeah, we should make it so there's an item you get from maxing out your bank account. That seems like a great idea. People are definitely going to do that just from playing the game. You do not need this much money. Oh yeah, no, don't worry. There's plenty of turnips everywhere. Like I said this earlier in the stream, but like my first 6 months of doing turnips, it was pretty bad. But like at this point, I've got so many systems in place. Like I know how much money is in every acre. I know how much, like I do all the math as I'm buying things, and then I will get those though just now. Because yeah, typically I try to like only drop as I go when I'm doing these streams. I tend to just drop in front of the store. But yeah, I have all these systems. Like right now, I'm like every week I get a map. I just take a screenshot of the map of my town, and then I just like draw in the numbers for like how many inventories I buy in each acre. So then I know where all the turnips are for that week, so I don't accidentally miss them or something. And then there's also like all the money I take because I have all the acres with money because I don't always use, you know, like there's some acres where I don't tend to buy from Joan, but I keep money there so that I can grab that money quickly and then go to where Joan is. So like those ones I have to like replenish. I have to try to remember that. At one point I was like marking down like where I took the money, but then I didn't really do that much, and most of the time it's fine. So, yeah, it's quite the time. It's pretty fun, but I mean, I am getting very close to being done turnips. Again, what I was saying earlier is I think I need 2 more spikes. For reference, I have seen a total of 33 spikes. So yeah, I think 2 more. Like technically I could do it in 1, but it would be a terrible time, and I don't think it would go very well. So that's why I'm sticking with 2 at this point. This was a very good week, or I mean, I guess it is a very good week in that I spent 8.2 mil, so we're making like 57 mil, which is huge. Also, I have some turnips that are in the lost and found that got stuck there from how long ago? Those have been there for a bit. Because like last week was a decrease, the week before that was a spike, but I did not have enough time to sell like the last 2 inventories, which also like meant that I couldn't sell the ones that I had in the lost and found. So then they're from 3 weeks ago. There are turnips in my lost and found from 3 weeks ago that I still have to sell, which should make up for the money I lost at some point in time. Okay, so I'm not gonna do too much more now. It's just about time for me to wrap up. But again, I will have to come back. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to make this work, because I'm gonna have to. I got plans later on tonight, so I gotta make this work before said plans, which means I have to like work my dinner around this somehow. So if I get this done and then eat, hopefully that could work. So I'd say like, I don't know, I'm probably gonna be back in like 4 to 5 hours, and I'll be back, and then yeah, I'd say something like that. Oh, I was like, what is this? I was so confused. The screen fading to black like that was ominous. That does not happen very often. Usually it's like if there's an event going on, you load the game, and then that happens as soon as you leave your house, and it's kind of expected. But for me to actually like play in the game and have it happen is like, whoa, that's crazy talk. Okay, I'm gonna sell this last inventory, and then yeah, I'm gonna leave it for now. Yep, music always changing by the hour. It's nice. Always fun. New Horizons changes per hour. I think every Animal Crossing game changes per hour. I'm like 99% confident that like every game has an hour like track. I mean, for me, when I played New Horizons, I heard a lot of the things. You have a thing on your PC that plays AC music based on what time it is constantly. See that's good stuff. That's quality. I like that. New Horizons music only has a more loose music schedule at the very beginning. Ah, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna just check out this ball toss because I didn't see this last year. Look at them go. Oh, dude, the angle. What is that angle? They're not even trying. They're just throwing. I'm gonna interrupt them. Oh, I can't interrupt them. I don't know if I believe him in putting every part of his heart and soul into each throw. We got the red ones over here. Yeah, I know. Dude's like, I'm just gonna stand right under the net. Clearly this is gonna work. I just have to arc it up immediately. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. He put his heart and soul, but not his brain, maybe. Ah, get out of here, Sui. You're my nemesis. It's funny though, because they had the like the race earlier, and like one of the guys, one of your villagers, just carrying like a gun, and he's just like. Like, it's crazy that they just have, like, a legitimate gun in this game. It doesn't even look like a toy gun. It just looks like a real gun. That if you go back to the beginning of the stream, you can see that. You never played the game in IRL? You throw from right under the net because that's where the missed shots are, and you want them to go in before... Oh. I don't know. I feel like I haven't played it. Or it's been a very long time. Or it's like... I don't know. It's been a very long time since I've done that. And I think we would have done it with, like, beanbags, probably. It would have been, like, beanbag toss. But it might not have been like that. It might have been, like, set up in a different way. I'm honestly, I'm not sure. But... yeah. It's been a long time since I've done that. Anyway, unfortunately, I don't have any more time right now, so I do have to get going. And yeah, I bought what, 44 inventory of turnip? 44 inventories of turnips. So that's full inventory, so 45 times 15. I bought 666 bundles of turnips this weekend. Or last weekend. But yeah, that's how it goes. If you want to actually make the money in like a decent amount of time, you kind of have to do that. Yeah, I think it is probably more Japan-centric, but I feel like I played some equivalent to a beanbag toss. But like, I'm trying to think if we had one where it's a net, because usually like beanbag toss here, it's like you got like a little ramp in front of you with holes in it, and you're trying to throw them in there. It's like skee ball, but not, I guess, is maybe a good way to put it. Hey, this is a big turnip stream, so we probably only have 2 more big turnip stream. Well, we have 2 more big successful turnip streams left. I shouldn't say that there's only 2 more. Yeah, cornhole is one word for it. But like I guess like growing up we called it like beanbag toss, but it's the same thing. Same. But yeah, we probably only need 2 more good spikes at this point. But obviously it's not, we don't know for sure if we're gonna get those 2 spikes. But it's looking like we can be done pretty soon, which is nice. But that's gonna mean that like streams are gonna be pretty short after that because there's not always a lot going on. But thank you for the follows. I do appreciate that. So yeah, I will be back in like 4 hours and a bit. And then we'll probably have to do another 2 hours of this. And then yeah, I do stream every day, if that wasn't clear, because I got things to check. But basically, yeah, like Sundays are always big for turnips. But seeing as we'll have over 900 mil after today, that's not going to be the case for much longer, hopefully, because I want to break from these turnips. Please release me from this prison I've put myself in. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, everyone. I do appreciate that. I will be back later to wrap this up. And then tomorrow, nothing's really going to go on. I'm just going to show up at some point in the morning probably and check, and there won't be anything. Unless it decides to rain. That would be cool. Anyway, I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Maybe I'll see you later. If not, maybe next time. And that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Again, thanks for stopping by. It was fun chatting. And let's get this game 100%ed this year. That's the goal. Anyway, I'm out. See you around. Bye.